Welcome to the Mindful Business Podcast, where we have conversations about building businesses while prioritizing our mental and physical health. In this episode, I met up with Alan Harris, the CEO of CResults Fitness. We met at one of his boxing studios to chat about all the lessons and experiences he's had in building various businesses over the years, from marketing agencies to boxing studios, and the role of physical health has played throughout that journey.
The first one. Okay, so just a little bit about myself. Started in the health and fitness industry. That was my first job. Started in a gym called the Sharper Image, which then became Health and Racket, which then became the Virgin Actives that you have today. And then I had an opportunity to get involved with a ladies only fitness gym called Lady of America, which is down the road here in Park Mall. And we had a great concept there, just females only. Unfortunately, we didn't have the best investors. Big lesson there, don't just do handshakes, get everything in writing. And then from there, had to get out of that, moved into marketing and media, a company called Graffiti.
It's quite a segue.
Yeah, it was a bit of a change. We basically grew the business to 210 staff in Cape Town, Durban, and Joburg. But I always believed and I loved health and fitness, and always from a very young age, I think this is important, is if you've got a passion, you've got a dream, you've got a vision, you've got to talk it into existence. So important. And I always believed, and this was in Standard 5, I remember a story where I thought I love inventing things. And in Standard 5, I said to myself, one day I'm going to invent something that no one else has ever done. That's in the health and fitness game. And basically that will change people's lives and be a big success, and would love to grow a global brand. So how it started was I actually designed a little shoe, and it was called LA Gears at the time. They were like these high top shoes that were really cool. And I basically called it Harris Springs Sporting Shoes. My surname's Harris. Yes. And it was for the ultimate sports performance and protection. And it had springs in the shoes. Everyone laughed at it. And they said, who would ever put springs in the shoes? Well, 20 years later, Nike was putting springs in their shoes and stuff like that.
Was that one of the moments where I think a lot of people are like, I thought about that 10 years ago and I just never acted on it. And I wish I had.
So I think the important in this discussion as well is everyone's got ideas, okay? And we're all ideas people. We know what we want to do, how we want to do it. But the biggest learning in business is it's about execution, accountability, and basically who's going to do it by when and how and what happens if it's not done. So, 100%. And that's how you literally need to hold. The easy stuff is the idea. That's the execution.
Well, that's the thing. And I think a lot of people get excited about the idea and then they start doing research on, okay, how do I follow this through? And then they're met with a whole bunch of hurdles and challenges and, mountains to climb. And a lot of people just get a little too scared of it. Yeah. And they think, I don't have the capabilities. They don't back themselves in that. They don't have investors or finance or anything. Yeah. So a lot of them, I don't know the percentage, but a lot of people will be like, you know what? It was a nice idea, but that's too much work for me.
Yes.
And I think that's what separates the business owners and entrepreneurs from everyone who has ideas, is the people who follow through and are willing to put in the grind and put in the work and try and fail as well.
Yeah. Well, if you're not failing, you're not trying. I'm a big believer in failing, but don't do it twice because that's stupidity. I think I've done a lot of research on entrepreneurship. I've done a lot of research, read a lot of books. I think that's very important. The key to success is to actually learn through others. Don't try and do it on your own. You will get there eventually, but it's going to take a lot longer.
Do you have a book, like a recent book that you've read recently that you would recommend?
Lots. So like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You've got obviously the McDonald's story. That's a good one as well.
The founder,
yes. So that's very cool. But back to my point is there's one thing I've always tried to say. What is that one thing that determines if you're going to be a success in business or not? And it comes from a lot of the top entrepreneurs. And it was entrepreneurs ran out of energy. You're tired, you're exhausted, and you're about to be a huge success. You're on your own, you're lonely, you haven't got all the people around you, you don't have that support structure unless you got mentors, which is a big thing in business. And that's one of the biggest reasons. It's most probably is the reason why entrepreneurs fail, is they just get tired.
They just get tired.
You got to get up, you got to say, I've put in all this effort, you got to reflect on stuff and make sure that, you never give up. But you might have to change direction because it doesn't always go to plan.
And I think what you're saying as well is that a lot of people get tired. They don't have the support systems in place. They don't have the community. They don't have the mentors. So that's part of the conversation that I'm trying to have with a lot of people is to help put systems in place and guidelines in place that help these entrepreneurs and business owners get to the point where, yes, they're tired, but they've got a structure supporting them, a foundation, and ways in which, so like if I start with an idea for a business today, ensuring that along the way I'm preserving physical health, mental health, community, all these things that should come parallel to entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That should come in parallel with it in order to make that happen.
Yes.
Because it is quite a lonely venture otherwise.
Yeah. So my biggest thing is, and I'm a huge believer in it, hence obviously CResults Fitness Boxing. Healthy body, healthy mind. You got all these sayings out there. You got to take some of these and actually action them, because without exercise, I can tell you I wouldn't be where I am today. Especially exercise, it's so important from a sense of it releases serotonin, dopamine, good things that help you get through all of the stuff. It's the cheapest form of exercise. Cheapest form of medicine is exercise. And yeah, it's just such a good stress relief. And I challenge any doctor out there to basically come and show me that exercise isn't the best, call it medicine, drug on the system, or medicine on the system.
Is that how you use it? Because you've obviously, again, built CResults, you've been in business, you've got that entrepreneurial kind of energy.
Yes.
Is this one of your coping mechanisms to help keep that balance?
100%. Without exercise, and I'm going to bring my wife into this, sorry, wife. if I'm not exercising, she almost forces me, because she sees the huge benefits of exercise mentally and physically. So yeah, it's just very important to have that. I'm going to contradict maybe a lot of what other people say, what life-work balance. Unfortunately, if you're going to live that, it's going to be very hard. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to you're going to have to work 14 to 16-hour days. So don't fool yourself.
Yeah.
You've
got to put in the grind still. Yeah.
People say you got to work smart, not hard. No, you got to work harder to work smarter. I've always changed that. So from a statistic point of view, business-wise, 30% of your day, this is a high percentage, and this is statistically been proven. 30% of your day in whatever you're doing, you're going to hate. Put it into perspective. It's not 5%, it's not 10%.
That's a big
but if you approach every day saying 30% of my day, it's the mundane, it's the admin, it's the dealing with unhappy, or whatever the case is, then it's easier to cope with. But if you're going to wake up and say, today is going to be amazing and I'm going to love every minute, you're going to just be disappointed. You're going to be tired at the end.
It's managing your own expectations.
100%.
You talk about the work-life balance where you do have to hustle and you do have to work really hard. What I've been trying to, at least for myself, view it as, instead of this 50-50 balance of work 50, live 50, it's not doing everything equally, but it's just doing bits of everything. So it's variety. Yeah. And that to me is the balance. It's not this, I think when we think of balance, we've got that typical little scale thing in our minds. Yeah. And we think it has to be equally weighed out. And I don't think that's the case. I think it's just having bits of everything. So having that fitness, whatever you can do. And I don't know if you recommend, like, is it once a week? Is it 3 times a week? Or is it just wherever you can fit it in as incorporating into your life if and when you can?
Well, I think once again, there's no exact have to. I think that the to answer your question, whatever time you do have available that you've set it, you've got to set time aside. You can't just hope it's going to happen. We say minimum, we like to push for at least twice a week of exercise. That's 45 minutes. And I think a very interesting part there is the biggest excuse, and this is why we run 45-minute classes, is time. So exercise, funny enough, isn't the problem. It's the schlep of getting to the gym, getting there. Once you're here, you'll train. Yeah. And I think one of the big keys here is you need to change your mindset, and this is going to get you to exercise a lot better, on how good you feel afterwards. So don't walk in and say, I have to drive, they're going to get stuck in traffic, blah, blah, blah. Fixate on how amazing you feel afterwards. And that's obviously going to help you get here more often. I think back to your life-work balance is, to your point, it's never going to be 50-50 in the day. One day you're going to be doing 90% work, 10%. But what you want to do is, holistically, you want to try and have a scenario where sort of balance to maybe a 50-50. But in saying that, if you really want to be successful, you're going to have to sacrifice a couple of things for the benefits of others.
Oh, you know this as much as any other business owner, because you've also now franchised.
Yes.
So you know the experience of having to put in that extra hard work because you've expanded. What was that like?
So my big advice is try and get in people, either if you're franchising, obviously there's an interest there from the franchisee. But at the end of the day, try and get people, if they are going to invest 5%, 10%, whatever, get them to have some sort of skin in the game, in the sense that they're going to add value, be it from a mentorship point of view, from an accounting point of view. Don't just get money.
Not just the financial investment. You need a bit of an emotional or some kind of personal investment where you know that they believe in your business
Yes.
as much as you do, so that if things do come up,
Yes.
not only do they have your back, but they're not just going to be like, actually, I'll just take that back.
Exactly, because that's pressure you don't want. You're already under pressure. Now you're going to do that. So you want to make sure when you find those partners that you find someone that's going to add value to the business, not just financially. Money is, believe it or not, entrepreneurs, they're going to say whatever, but you can always raise money. As long as you've got a good concept, you've got a track record, raise money with people that are going to help you get there quicker where you want to be.
I think that's also part of just building that community. It's such a conscious effort. So you are, anyone that's invested in your business, whether it be customers, staff, investors, they've got to be on the same, to a point at least, same headspace as you.
Yes.
So that you're all aligned on the same vision, same goal.
I'm very blessed. I've got quite a few mentors. Easiest part, speak to your family, your friends. Somebody knows somebody that knows somebody, which is vital. And then I think if I can give a little bit of advice from my learnings with mentors, don't sit in a mentor meeting with an agenda. Don't do it. Sit in there, but come in. What a lot of people do is they say, what did you do well? I can go chat GPT it right now and find out everything what to do. Ask them where they failed, what they did wrong. That's one of my biggest learnings with mentors. And like I said, I don't have a structured this, that, and the next thing. No, you're going in and the conversations generally will go around as long as you've given them a bit of
something to work with. A reason why I wanted to have you on as well is obviously coming to the classes and everything with you, your attitude in the sessions. I can tell you're obviously incredibly passionate about fitness, about boxing in general, and the setup that you have here is really a big contributor as to why I love it as much. But a part of it too is your input and your energy and your attitude. It's just overwhelmingly positive, and you just have this spin on things. I came with my friend and she was like, I'm having the worst day, and you were like, take it out on the bag, just get rid of it. So you've got such a positive approach to it.
Yes. If you look at the world today, we're very segregated. We're very, through our phones, we're hiding from each other. We go to dinner, we're on our phones. Through COVID, we all separated. That leads to anxiety, depression, all of those kind of things. So my biggest key to success when it comes to businesses as well as companies or pieces of paper. People make businesses. Just give some people something that they don't ever want to let go of. And it starts with your attitude. As a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner or whatever, you've got to try and, without telling people what to do, get them to empower people to come in, understand the vision. Do they believe in the vision? Add to the vision. Because, and don't surround yourself with like-minded people. Vision, yes, they got to be sort of aligned because it's going to change a bit along the way. But surround yourself with people that don't think exactly, because maybe I'm on the wrong route, but they're going to challenge me. As long as everything's done with respect with everyone, no matter who you are in the business, then basically you can get to a stage where maybe I was going wrong, even though I started the business, this person's going to help push you this. And that's how businesses are made. I always try and employ people that are going to teach me stuff.
You don't strike me as someone who's got this passive approach. You're quite an active approach kind of guy. We're like, you know what, this is how I'm feeling. I'm just going to suss it out. You're like, no, this is how I'm feeling and this is what we're doing about it. You have quite a strong reaction to like deciding how it's going to go.
I think it's just making a decision to either go negative or positive. Choose. So do you asked me a little bit earlier, you said, do you ever have a bad day? Of course I have a bad day. I'm not sitting here being I'm human. Well, I'll have that bad day by myself or my family. I'll chat to them or whatever. So I think that's important to say. You can't just be happy all the time. Life is going to throw things at you. Another big thing is if we talk about anxiety and stress, how do you know if you're going through anxiety or depression or whatever the case is? Depression is everything in the past. Anxiety is everything in the future.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will say I'm depressed, but they might have anxiety or vice versa. So if you can split both of those,
understanding what you're fixating on, is it the past or is it the future? And then you haven't. That's an amazing way to think of it.
It's very, very nice. It's powerful because you can then, instead of trying to do both at the same time, which are totally different, you can have a plan have 2 or 3 things you're going to do towards this, 2 or 3 to do towards that. And you'll definitely find you can cope better.
On your website, you say, if you can measure it, you can manage it.
Yes, huge.
Where did that come from?
Funny enough, one of my mentors, purely from him. So obviously from our side, we use data to measure. We make it very simple. People are generally competitive with themselves because they want to improve all the time. It's basically set yourself little targets and then measure them, manage them. Did they work? Didn't they work? okay, what else do I need to do? I think on that point, so I'm actually doing an AI course. The beauty of the era we're going into now is phenomenal. In the beginning, we had a thing called Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, I remember.
Where we paged through, we didn't have Google or anything. So you were more hired on your IQ. Okay, they could see what your scores were or whatever. And then what happened was we had Google, so you didn't have to be that smart anymore. You could basically go find answers, not always the correct ones, maybe misleading. And then people used to start hiring on your EQ, your emotional intelligence. Okay, so how do you interact with people? How's your attitude with people? Are you caring? All of those things that the world wants. But now with AI, you don't have to be smart at all anymore.
I think that AI is an incredibly valuable tool, but it doesn't mean get lazy.
So what we believe is going to be the key with AI and robots, blah, 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 we call it the LQ, the love quality.
The love quality.
Robots will never, ever be able to take
that human
away. Yeah,
humanness.
So how was your day? Without being evasive. So what we do our very best, and we bestow it, it's top of mind every time we have meetings or whatever, is the LQ. What did we do for our members to make them feel special? Walk out of here saying to themselves, geez, I can't wait to get back. And it's not, funny enough, it's not just a effort thing. It comes naturally because we all believe in it. We believe the world needs it more than ever.
It's just part of your being eventually. Even if it isn't initially, it's something I think you can lean into, learn, and then it becomes a little bit more natural.
Yeah, so I almost want to patent the LQ, the love quality.
I love it.
And just giving people something that is memorable, that's measurable, and something that's going to add value that will keep them coming back again and again and again.
I think that's a key thing in experience in whatever business you're in, whether it's, whether you work with people physically right with them or you provide a product or something. I think it's how you make people feel.
Yes.
And that's what we focus on a lot when we're doing the brand strategy or business strategy is, yes, this is your values and what you want to be achieving, but what do you want to achieve for your customer, not just from an end product or end service, but how they walk away feeling after engaging with your business in any way. And I think that is that humanness, that love quality that you're talking about.
Just give them something that they never want to give up.
Yeah.
And yes, it's tiring sometimes and all that kind of thing, but how cool when you get it right.
How do you recenter yourself?
I think I've got a lot of faith in the man upstairs.
100%.
And I know I can talk to him because it gets lonely sometimes. I know he can help me. And knowing that you've got that comfort that he will provide, but he also says you've got to put in that effort.
I think it makes a massive difference in that faith and that trust that you have and be like, you know what, no matter what, I might not feel like I've got it, but he's got it. So we're going to be fine.
And I think it's important to know that you cannot do it on your own.
Yeah.
You're going to have the faith, and you're going to have to surround yourself with amazing people that teach you more than you'll ever know. And I think just once again, grinding it out. The challenge with the younger viewers today, they're in the era of instant gratification. Everything's accessible. It's so easy. But what's happening with the younger generation is they're not switching off. They're not taking the time or all those kind of things. And what's happening is they're filling their brains up with other people's thoughts and ideas, not having their own thoughts and ideas. And what they're also trying to do there is they're going to get brain tired unless they're doing all the right stuff, eating well, sleeping well, all of those things. So my advice is, especially, and I try to do it with our kids, my kids, 1 hour screen time a day, but they've got to read an hour before.
Yeah.
When it comes to weekends, we'll be a little bit more lenient, maybe 2 or 3 hours, but then they don't have to read. But the key is to get them out into the sunlight, get them exercising, do all of those kind of things. But yeah, I think from a generational point of view, we're in different phases. There's so many benefits that you guys, the younger generation, will bring. But let's not forget, we can all get knowledge from each other.
Yeah.
And just embrace all of the stuff. Just don't abuse all of the stuff. It's like anything, everything in moderation. And, I hate video games for my kids or whatever, but it's part of the future. If you don't let them do it, they're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Look, I on the video games thing, I didn't grow up with video games and things like that at all. We didn't have a PlayStation,
I hated
Xbox,
video
none
games.
of it.
Yeah.
But my boyfriend did, and he likes them. And to be honest, I've started playing games with him and more because I find that I would rather play an hour of some kind of continuous storyline with him than scroll through 150 reels on my phone and not even be able to tell you what I absorbed.
Yes.
So my perspective on video games has changed in conversation of if it's video games versus social media.
Fair.
Then 100% video games.
I love that because I had the same thing with my son recently. So I didn't want to I waited a long time to not give him a PlayStation or all those kind of things. And like you said, I'd much rather him going, because there's some benefits to the video games. I know we're digressing, but rather than him going, filling himself with such rubbish and it's just something that grates me. But it's up to us to manage it. Don't not let it happen.
Yeah.
But
moderation.
And as I said, it can play a lot on the mental state. I think that's the biggest risk.
It's a bit of a counter of like with kind of what we try to achieve when we're talking about balance and fitness. You'll see where I'm going in a second. When we're talking about everything in moderation, we were saying recommended fitness 2 times a week, about 45 minutes. Is there a thing as like people using fitness and exercise as too much of a crutch? Because I use it as like a stress reliever just to get out of my brain and into my body.
Yes.
That's what I love about it. But can it be escapism where people stop dealing with pressures of work or actually acknowledging like what is going on? Is there a other side?
So I think that's very important because, we get people that come and join, I want to train 5 times a week, but they've never exercised.
All right.
They're not going to last.
Yeah, cart before the horse a little bit there.
You've got to start slowly. It's like with anything. There's no quick fix in the world. I think you'll see all of these diets, all of these fancy things that are coming out. Very simply, take it slow, manage it, ease into it. You will then continue. Don't just go
something to build up.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
It's one of those things where you want to build up, not burn out.
I like that. So I'm going to phrase that.
But I think build up, not burn out also is what we're trying to do with business, is that you can't just, obviously you've got to work hard and you've got to push, but it doesn't mean throw 180% at it, have no sustainability, no grounding, no balance, because then like you're saying, entrepreneurs get tired and then they stop.
So I think to that point is quite a good one, because through exercise, through meditation, through sunlight, through all of those kind of things, that's going to help you cope with working the 14 to 16 to 18 hour days, as opposed to eating badly, still working. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
But if you're fueling your body, once again, coming to nutrition and exercise, wanting to get ahead and in this very challenging life that we've got, a very competitive life, those kind of things are vital to ensure your vitamins, all of those kind of things.
Yeah, they set you up.
So it's probably the most important thing to keys to success to entrepreneurs is your health. And we said it a little bit earlier. If we just discussing and we're putting it all together. Healthy mind, healthy body.
Healthy business.
So how I live my life is I've got no regrets in my life. I've got learning. People will say, no, it was a regret, but it's a learning.
That's a perspective. That's a positive perspective. Is that even when you're dealing with the hard stuff and the negative stuff, you're still underlying it with that little like silver lining.
So change trying to succeeding, and you're not surviving. What does a survivor do? They just get in there. It's a drown. No, I'm overcoming. So change those 2 things. Change those 2 words. It will change your life.
So it was surviving to overcoming and not trying succeeding.
Yeah. I'm succeeding, and use your body, bring energy back into yourself. Walking around, it's how you walk. I think there's a lot of studies work on sitting up straight, walking up straight. If you're walking like this, you can immediately see the
sense of confidence.
Yeah, so your body language is vital.
A microcosm of that is if you're in a bad mood or you're having a bad day, just force a smile. You're going to feel stupid and it feels weird and you're going to feel a little silly. But after fake smiling for a bit, you'll start smiling at yourself because then you're smiling.
Yeah.
And then it changes your mindset a little bit. So it's that link of like, how you hold yourself is how you think.
I think also it sounds really strange. I've never actually said this, but with mentors, go and surround yourself with kids sometimes, because they are amazing. I tell you why. The one day I came home and my daughter was, I think, 8 at the time. And we were just having a chat and stuff. And I said, Mia, you can't do that. She said, Daddy, I can, just not yet. I was like,
your 8-year-old's going to be incredible.
Like, I'm going to use that. Now I use it every day. And I think go back. So I'm going to write a book one day. I don't know what the headline's going to be, but the catchphrase is going to be stay childish.
Stay childish. I love it. And also because of that, what you're saying is like what we can learn from children. I was an au pair for 2.5 years and everyone's like, oh, why are you doing that? And mostly it was just to get out my house. But it very quickly became a thing of I work with adults all the time and I love it. But it's such a different conversation that you have with a child. And sometimes it's just a weird, very random conversation of like, what do you think is 200 meters below where we're standing right now? And it's just getting outside of yourself a little bit. But they do have these little nuggets where you can be like, actually, not a bad point there.
You know why? Because they've simplified it. They haven't been complicated by the world. And sometimes it sets you and says, maybe I've actually overthought it. I've overcomplicated it. you know what, let me go back to basics. You need to speak to others. You cannot do it on your own.
There's so many nuggets that I've loved through this, and I'm 9% sure that I'll want to come back. Thank you so much.
Happy.
Very excited.
I'm happy to do more. I love this. This energizes me, this kind of stuff.
Thank you for listening to the Mindful Business Podcast. If this resonates with you, please follow along, share it with a friend or a family member who you think could benefit from it. Leave a review, a comment, a question. I'd love to hear from you. What are you struggling with? What do you want to know about? Also, don't forget to take a break today. You're allowed to go at your own pace. See you next time.